Welcome to the shortest banjo podcast ever, the COVID sessions, where everybody holds a banjo, and if they don't have one, they have to play air banjo. Mandee McKelvey is one of the standout character actors in the Midwest. Her performances in TV commercials have put her in high demand. She has a pretty uplifting story. COVID has actually improved her life significantly in two ways. Like she needs improvement. But let's let her make the case. Mandee McKelvey.
Kurt? Hey,
Oh,
Kurt.
hey, Mandee, how you doing? Well, good to see you. All right. Well, so glad you could bear. Let me get my banjo. I'm sorry. I was busy.
Oh,
I was reading research.
what were you reading?
Research. I was just reading. I'm glad you
Okay.
came on when you did. I was about to turn the book up the other way. I didn't. Do your best. Hey, there's Mandee McKelvey, everybody.
Hi, Kurt.
Hello. Well, there's a lot of people saying hi. They're clapping. They're going, hey, there's Mandee. We're so excited. Mandee has agreed to be with us. Y'all know who Mandee is. I just told you. And Mandee has a different story in her life about what has happened during the pandemic. And it's really of all of these episodes, this is probably going to be one of the most uplifting of all of them. I mean, really, in your success story, in two real key parts of life that have been improved.
Yeah.
They've been enhanced.
Yes.
Because of the pandemic and all that goes. Where's your banjo, by the way? Oh, you have one.
Got my band. I made one.
That is one of the most creative ways so far people are using to get out of it. So that
It's
is one. Okay.
Skinny.
Oh, well, doesn't matter. You're taking us behind the scenes now.
Yes, it's a
and
little
revealing the
skinny,
magic.
and I don't know if it's the right number of strings. It was real impromptu.
It's four. Is there four?
There's the four dots.
Yeah,
That's all
four
I
dots. There's four. That's good. They're 4-string banjos.
Okay.
All right, now hold it and play it. Go ding, ding, ding,
Okay.
ding.
Ding 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 ding. Welcome to our show. Ding 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 ding. Is that it?
Improve. Why don't you share with the people how this pandemic has made you a better person?
Okay. Well, the first area would be that since I lost my comedy career, I was forced to pay attention to my day job. And I got considerably better at my day job. And I know that in itself is not something everybody could do because a lot of people lost their day gig as well. I had 2 full-time jobs and I obviously lost one of them. And then I kept my day gig, which is at a hospital. So obviously that's not going anywhere during COVID. But I honestly needed the extra energy. I needed it to participate more in what was going on. So I started doing a better job at my job, which I don't recommend, but it was nice to have something to put my energy into. And I started to appear.
Well, I mean, and it was a hospital too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you're losing the comedy part to COVID, yet it's allowing you to redirect your energies to a place that we all needed you to have it at.
I'm hoping. Let's say that, Kurt. Let's say that, because boy, am I tired.
What do you do at the hospital?
I am a therapist, and it is very, it's very stressful, but it always was.
Conversational therapist, not physical therapist.
Right.
Okay.
And it always was. So it's nothing, there's nothing new under the sun except for right about the time they needed more energy from me was right about the time that I had it. So,
yeah.
And it was nice to have something to go and focus on. I don't think I would have done well if I had been a work from homer.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have mentally done well.
Doing that.
Even though it was scary in the beginning to go there every day, it was really nice to go there and have like to be able to focus on other people instead of just being freaked out all day.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. I mean, I wouldn't trade positions, you know, with anybody in this time, but like, I know being in healthcare sucks and all that in the general way, but like, as far as like mentally having something to focus on and to stop looking at all the things I was losing and to stop worrying about myself, primo. That was like the best case scenario for me.
Yeah.
But I didn't, but that was, we talked about my favorite thing was in those first 2 months from March 14th to basically May 20th, it was only essential workers out, so there was no traffic at all.
Oh yeah.
And it was amazing, Kurt.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my God, it was so amazing. I would get to work every day in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
We were all, there was like 3 cars on the road at any given moment. We were all doing 95 miles an hour. The bars and restaurants were just doing to-go drinks because they didn't know what else to do. You could just get a drink from any restaurant and drive 95 miles an hour with an open container. And everybody was doing 95 and nobody was aggressive. It wasn't an aggressive 95. It was just like everybody was just vibing on all 4 lanes. It was, that was like, it was apocalyptic, but it was even apocalyptic in the way where I was like, I think I love the apocalypse.
Good too.
Yeah, it was like they had closed the roads down for a parade or something, and I just didn't get the memo.
Yeah. Well, maybe they had.
2 months. It was awesome.
Maybe they had, and you just hadn't noticed.
God.
You're looking straight. There was lines of people on the side of the road.
She was just waving at me.
Yeah, waving at you. If you were you were paranoid because you had a drink in your hand, so you were looking straight, and you're.
Like there was you remember there was no police because
I know they were all down on Breonna Taylor way down
right
there, is where they were.
Just vibing with drinks, doing 90.
Well,
nobody
actually,
cared.
They're adding up here now. Actually, there's 2 of them. You got drinking and driving, and you got driving with no traffic. So that's 2. That's 2 right there.
Yes,
Man,
everybody was
the good old days of the beginning of the pandemic. It's just just all the good times. Yeah,
those early days before we knew how long this was going to go on.
Yeah, maybe we'll have another pandemic soon. It'll be all right. Yeah, I know. We can only hope.
We're talking about dating. We're talking about dating in a pandemic.
We're talking about your dating life. Your dating life. Okay.
So I was seeing someone during the pandemic, and everything was going great. And 3 months or so ago, I was broken up with. Nope. Wait, no, not broken up with. Well, and I'm not going to say dumped because I'm not trash, Kurt. But
I know you're not. I know you.
No, actually, okay. Technically, I left, but I left because
it was
I said we were having a great weekend. Nothing precluded this, Kurt. And I said, you don't love me, do you? And his face dropped and he said, no, I don't. And he said, but I care for you very deeply, and that doesn't mean I can't learn to love you. And I was like, there's that face, Kurt, that's the face. Hold on to that face, because that is a feeling that you want to freeze for this whole next thing that I'm about to tell you. That face is exactly what I felt, because that's not a thing, Kurt. We've been dating. What could that possibly mean? It's not. What does that even imply? That like you could learn to love me? Like you're gonna wake up in like 3 years and I'm suddenly gonna reveal this secret, better personality that I was hiding for you the whole time? Like, we've been dating a year. This is my A game, Kurt. I was doing the best I was ever going to do. I'm not gonna get better as a person. Like, what does he think? I'm just gonna like rip off the mask in 3 years and be like, haha, I was Mother Teresa the whole time. Or like, 'twas I, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Or like, I couldn't even figure out what that would look like, because like the only thing that's going to happen with me is I'm going to get older and meaner. and like wear more fake furs and dress more like Blanche Devereaux. That is the only changes that you will see coming throughout the next 20, 30, 40 years I'm allowed to live. Like there's no, this is my philanthropy, Kirk. My skin's gonna get looser. I'm gonna talk more about my pussy. Like there is not going to be any improvement for me as a person. I was doing the best I could do, and I was like, I just can't fathom what he would think that would even mean. Like on our 2-year anniversary, I just like show up and I'm like, surprise! I could cook this entire time. I could always cook. And I was just fucking with you. Like I'm not going to cook. I can't cook. I'm not going to cook. I was just, and this whole time that I was pretending I couldn't cook, I was busy perfecting your dead grandmother's lasagna. Tastes like your childhood. And he'd be like, oh my God, I fucking love you. And I'd be like, hi, that's you, bitch. I knew I'd make you love me. Like, I can't imagine. Like, I just needed time. I just needed to be patient so you could grow into me. Like, I can't do better than this, Kurt. The only thing that will happen from this year following is that like I will get increasingly more high maintenance, and the number of blowjobs that you receive will decrease exponentially, Kurt. If you don't love me, if you don't sort of kind of love me right now, you're gonna hate my fucking ass in about 2 years. Like there's nothing. I'm a female comic, which is about as garbage of a lady as you can be. So like, this is literally my best foot forward, Kurt. This interview is my best foot forward. And think about this, Kurt. What am I going to do? Like call my friends and cry about it? It's a pandemic.
You know,
Thank
whatever.
you. I'd be like, pick up the phone. A boy doesn't love me. And they'll be like, Mandee, I haven't worked in 6 months and my children are starving. And I'll be like, no, it's a boy doesn't love me again. And they'll be like, yeah, Mandee, you're 42. We know you've never been married. Like, we know boys don't love you. Like, I'm afraid if I push them too far, they'll just tell me the fucking truth. I didn't know how to date. I was like, how do you date in a pandemic? I did not want to go back on dating apps. I was just like, I need to try some stuff because this whole crying in my bed thing every night is boring for everybody. I got on, and guess what? Nobody knew how to date in a pandemic. And so all the decent humans were bringing that up in the communication. Like, yeah, I'm not really sure. Like maybe we could meet here. They have like outside tables. If you would maybe want to get a drink, you would have a drink way far away from each other. When you meet, you just say, hey, there's no awkward hug, handshake, no touching. You sit down, you have a drink just so you can take your mask off and look at each other's face from across the picnic table or whatever. By 10, it's last call. The bar or restaurant shuts down. There's nowhere else to go, nothing to do. You can't hug or kiss a stranger. So they just go, it was great to meet you. Do you want to do this again? And your ass is in bed by 10:15, completely unmolested. And it is fucking awesome, Kirk.
That's great for people our age.
It's fucking awesome, Kirk.
I mean, because then you're getting your square 8 hours, you know, you're good to go.
Yes. I'm like totally refreshed every day at work. Totally refreshed.
I'm getting more interested in dating and getting out because I have bad bodily hygiene anyway. So that's another thing that would be an advantage. They're wearing a mask.
There is.
I don't know, but I don't know how to do dating app. I've never. I know it's hard for you to believe, but I have never done a dating app before.
It's easier than you think, because I'm not an internet person. Like,
Yeah.
I try to be anonymous as I can online.
Oh yes, I understand. That's right. Because you work with
Right. But that dating apps are great about keeping you out of your like little closed world where you keep making the same mistakes and attracting the same people. They like get you, and you meet people you would never meet normally. I love that.
Interesting. What about that? Isn't there one of just Jehovah's Witness that you
I
can date?
bet. I hope, because I don't think they're supposed to date other people, are they?
I know, but these are the rogue, Jehovah's Witness.
Oh.
These are the ones. Those girls in the choir. So is Tinder like? Does that mean like you're going to be tender, or does it mean you're going to be like you're on fire because
I think
Tinder?
it's a firewood.
Or does it mean you're buying sex, like legal Tinder? You got. Is it none of that?
God, Kurt, do you know how awesome it would be if anybody would just pay me for sex? God,
Well,
that would be so cool.
That's right.
They just want you to give it right on out for free, Kurt.
It's getting near that time of year for New Year's resolutions. I make the same one every year. I'm gonna quit charging women. That you bring that up. But I always fail, Mandee. I always fail. Name your favorite dating sites.
Okay, I like Hinge, which is counterintuitive. Here's why. I should like Bumble the best.
I don't. Because what do they do? What's the difference? Right. A Hinge and a Bumble.
They all look the same and function the same on your phone.
You swipe it. Yeah, or no. Okay.
Bumble is supposed to be the more woman-friendly one, because they have it set up that even when you match someone, the woman has to message first. The man is not permitted access to her.
Sadie Hawkins. Sadie Hawkins.
Exactly. Well, it's supposed to be. I like the idea that it will only attract men who are very serious about not hooking up and meeting a certain type of woman, because it really takes away all of that predatory behavior from men. It kind of they really don't have the ability to just kind of jump in there and go nuts like they do on other dating sites.
So the man doesn't have that age-old responsibility of being the one to ask the woman out.
Well, here's the thing, and this is why I think that Bumble is stressful for me. And this is going to sound like an affront to feminism in every possible way. So I put this statement in your capable hands, Kirk, and I don't know where this is going to go out into the world of the internet.
If there ever was a feminist, I am one. So,
as someone who considers herself to be a great deal, huge feminist, huge independent, never married, no children, woman, I struggle with the messaging first part. Now, it's done to keep away the men who are like, here's a dick pic, here's a sexy, comment.
Right.
But that's why I will message them first just to open up the conversation, but I'll say something so general just to see if they want to engage in that way, if they are like, really. I don't like that feeling. And women, in my experience, we're so used to not trusting ourselves in our gut that we don't beeline in on things the way that men do.
Of course, yes, I understand. There's communication that happens, before the dick pics, really.
Yeah.
But what if it's like just a incredibly fantastic dick pic? Would that change your mind just for that day?
Let me put it to you this way, Kurt. The most beautiful penis that I've ever seen in my whole life would be really gross if it wasn't on one of the most wonderful men I'd ever met.
Oh, now see, you're really explaining the difference between men and women. Because you can hang a pussy on that door over there and somebody'd come in here and try to fuck it.
Well, yes, yes.
You know,
It doesn't even have to look like one,
it
Kurt.
doesn't have to look like one or have attached to a human. Just click off the name of a few characters that you've played in the roast.
Okay, well, I just recently did Nancy Pelosi, and that
Nancy is
was
good.
one of the
Okay.
more fun things
Yeah.
done in a long time. I did Clarice Starling for a police roast. That was great.
Yeah.
I had the last live roast that we did before the pandemic, did Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and I got to write a song.
Oh.
And that I got to do a whole Disney princess in my ball gown.
Oh my.
But cussing, which is what I love.
Yes. Well, yeah, of course. You gotta cuss.
Always cussing. I will never not be a Disney villain in my heart. So
I bet Belle cussed when she wasn't on camera.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She was very well read. She knew curse words.
She's a slut too.
Yeah, she knew curse words.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, there were some people that knew you were going to be on, and had a question for you.
Okay.
About another character that you had, and it's you played Michael Jackson in one of the roasts, and I was wondering if that has informed your dating choices as an old person.
Oh my God.
I have a question for all of our comics that are on this series.
Yes.
If you had to choose an animal persona to build a comedy act around, what animal would it be?
Okay, I've been a horse and a cow, and those were not my favorite. God. Oh my God, I think I would love to be like a weird bird.
A bird?
Yeah, because they can fly and they can shit on people, and they can't, like, there's nothing, they're little dinosaurs, but they're fancy and beautiful. They're like overly decorated, and that might be fun, to just the physicality of being a weird bird.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like being a dinosaur too. Just like a beautiful, weird bird. There's all those crazy ass birds that look like they're wearing fur coats and shit. And they're just so like skittish and easily startled and kind of hot and chic in some unnecessary ways, and overly anxious. And also delicate. Yeah, some kind of a beautiful, colorful, weird bird. I think I would love it.
You could talk about eating worms out of the ground.
Oh yeah, laying eggs and shit, making a nest.
Making the nest and all that. Yeah, flying back and forth, shoving worm parts down your baby chicks.
Yes, I would do a whole bit where I would like chew up stuff and then like vomit it.
Regurgitate.
Yes.
You just in the middle of you'd be like, get the punchline, and everybody'd laugh, and when they come back, you'd go, "Excuse me for a minute," and let it out.
Yeah, I think I could do it, Kurt. Yeah, I think it's it. I feel good about this. It really caught me off guard, but the more I talk myself into it, the more psyched I am.
Yeah. You ever heard a peacock when one of its feathers falls out?
What?
They're loud.
Really?
It hurts. Think of how big that end of that feather is there.
It hurts them?
They scream a lot.
What? How do you know that?
Well, when I jerk them out, they do. They start running and they're hollering.
I walked into that like a glass door.
Why do you think you can't sustain a long-time relationship? Let me tighten the question up for you.
Okay.
You've, I'm sure, dated hundreds and hundreds of people. And so
thousands.
There's been thousands. There's been a sample.
Millions.
What's the number one reason someone has said, or multiple people might have said, that they are breaking up with you? Is there a pattern? We're looking for a pattern here is what it is.
Yeah. We will have dated a long time and it just fizzled out.
Fizzles out.
Fizzles. can't keep the spark alive, Kirk.
So why do you think that those are the people that you're winding up with, that you're just kind of barely,
Mm.
and you know it's not going to be forever?
Well, I think that's the problem. I mean, that's why it goes on so long and fizzles out, because I couldn't suss that out early enough. I didn't know. I think that's a little bit about what's so frustrating about dating is like you can investigate yourself 1,000 times over, but you can't control how you're going to mix with another person. You can do all your internal work all the time. You can try to make yourself better in every way. All the self-improvement in the world, for some reason, goes out the window when you and another person butt heads.
Right.
And it's hard to know that until you try and then basically run it into the ground.
I was always just, here it is.
Yeah, I can
Here it
see
is.
that.
Here it is. There's nothing, like you said, it's baked, but it's been baked for 40 years. I know what it is. I've been baked for like 50 years.
That can't help. That can't help.
Oh, it's been an immeasurable help.
Sorry, it can't help you connect with women.
Well, you get the right kind of woman. Good Lord, there's always a solution. There's so many people out there.
There are so many.
There's somebody for everybody. By God, you meet people and you wonder, how is that possible? Mandee, thank you so much for being here. You've enlightened me tremendously, and it's been a story of success during this pandemic. We've had all this misery and suffering and people dying and having horrible divorce and drinking a lot, all that kind of stuff. And here you are, never felt better in your life. You look great. You've got everything going for you. You know how to use all the dating apps. You're way ahead of us on that. You have a job where you get to feel intellectually superior to people every day because they have troubles and you don't. And so it's a wonderful. This time of year, I just have to say it's a wonderful life.
Well, Kirk, thanks for putting it in perspective for me. I wasn't being grateful enough.